Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. And if you want to support the people that make this game, and or get the newer version earlier, then you can go through Patreon. I confirmed it's $5. I don't know, I guess Patreon's numbers are being a bit weird. So, on the last Let's Play, we resumed Max's route since that was released. And he basically went straight to the point, and like the other two, and was like, hey, we can't use canine epiphany, empathy with you. Canine epiphany, which is an epiphany. And he said we didn't tell him, or they didn't tell us because they didn't want to make us feel like more of an outsider, because it's a whole canine thing. And then he hummed a tune that brought some kind of memory on or something like that, made the main character start biting himself. Strange things happen, at which point he knocked us out, and now we're reliving his memories. I wonder if they're going a completely different route, because usually when you go into these past things, it was when you passed out on the top deck and when you had all that electricity go right through you, but this is a bit sooner. And this is Max being part of the, feline group, having a crystal in his spine which gives him feline mana, but also means he also has to run back to the felines to get a recharge or else he dies. And his target, since he's like an assassin or something like that, is to kill Rune. Yeah, lots of stuff. Anyways, he's here. Rune's back. What happened to him? Are those bandages? Impossible. Rune was never wounded in battle before. The palace's marble halls pulse with excited whispers of dozens of servants, soldiers, and royal officials. Those feelings flood over everyone's mind like a bright stream. I noticed Max's tail wagging in response to the pack's enthusiasm. He's easily impressionable. It was just like we were warned. The canine innate sense of empathy can make us lose our minds to the emotions of the crowds. We have to be careful not to let it influence our ability to take proper action. We were so thoroughly, gruesomely trained against such risks, and yet Max's body reacts instinctively, even if his own mind doesn't fully comprehend those feelings. Also, like, we're seeing this from Max's brother, who's dead. I bring him back to attention with our shared thoughts, and I can immediately feel a wave of shame and fear, just as it was chiseled into us through training. It's like I never had read English before. It's like, what is this chiseled? Chiseled. His tail stops wagging. I feel somehow bad for reprimanding my own brother for feeling happy, but that's for his own safety. I knew this mission would be challenging. We also knew that this was kind of a challenge we were literally built for. Today will change the course of history. Oh, wait. I'm wondering if this is the thing where Rune loses his hand. As the noise from the entrance approaches, you also notice a fairly powerful presence coming from the opposite end of the corridor. Cooper's here. The Caucasian shepherd? Caucasian? Is that how you spell Caucasian? Clad in heavy armor adorned by pieces of scarlet scale mail, walks in our direction. His red cape is still beautifully striking, even with a huge metal baton strapped to his back. Max and I quickly fix our servant collars, and we offer a bowl of water and a platter of exquisite treats, only to be completely ignored. Perfect. Then Max's eyes go wide, with a frighteningly, unbelievably powerful aura fills the corridor. Our target finally appears from behind the corner. Sir Moon! The Caucasian shepherd turns towards the Siberian husky. He stops and hovers his hand over him, evidently upset and panicking over his hero's wounds. Our great surprise, Rune isn't wearing his legendary armor, the Carapace of the Sun. We cannot see his fabled sword with him, the Noonlight Oath. I guess this might be after the lake battle? He has some sort of weird black blade with a flimsy handle and a sheathed dagger at his side. But no real protection. So, not sure about the dagger and the black blade. Yeah, I know what that is. Just comfortable, casual clothes, and a bunch of bandages. On his torso, over his right eye, as well as his limbs. He seems to have lost an eye and deeply wounded his right hand. It's ridden with bite marks and of some kind, and pretty certain it's going to limit his ability to protect himself. We're in luck. That suddenly opens up new options for me and Max. Okay, I know this just kind of goes into some random direction, but this game kind of makes me miss Assassin's Creed. Like, I'd love to play Assassin's Creed 2 again. All that setup and stuff like that. I wonder if it's on Steam, but anyways. Hello, Cooper. What is this? A smile? Rune is smiling. Sir, what happened to you? Was it Burl Tangleroot? Did he do that to you? My heart stops in my throat, hearing that name. We haven't been told any of the news about Tangleroot. We only knew he was reported as lost in action. Rune clutches and starts shaking his head in response to the other dog's question. But then he stops and thinks for a moment. Oh yeah, I guess he did. What? That doesn't sound good. But wasn't it like largely monsters? I mean, yeah, mostly Tangleroot, but like also monsters indirectly. Okay. It's a wild story, really. I wish I could just sit down with you and tell you everything. It was Rune. Suddenly, Rune's smell drops when a sharp sound of a cane knocking over a hard marble surface grows closer to all of us, announcing the arrival of General Gunner. Hey, he's alive. And probably not a good thing. A big, menacing Prisa Canaro dog is tightly wrapped in bandages, as is people, if even not more so. Oh, people as in Rune. Let's see what that kind of dog looks like. Presa Canario. Do do do. Do 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 do. Was it window capture? Boop. That dog. Hey, good dog. And remove. Hyena. Make sure my face is okay. He's lucky you weren't involved in the battle for the Rust Keep. You wouldn't have been staying there today at all if we were. So the thing I find quite interesting about this game, in which they kind of went into more, is the politics of the world. Maybe not politics, but like, what is things going on? Is it like everybody fights everybody, or is it the canines fight everybody, you know? General. Rune, what the hell happened? I've read all your reports. You secured the base, correct? You even found that traitor. Then why did you stop sending updates? What happened to Noonlight Oath and the Carapace of the Sun? Where's Tangleroot? Why do you look like Shitboy? Who... Gunnar raised his hand towards Rune's face, finally realizing the loss of his eye. He gasps, and I can finally feel the first unobscure emotion seeping through the cracks of his heart and mind. Even if that lasts only for a split second before being masked again, it can clearly feel sorrow, soon eclipsed by his outward expression of anger. Who did this to you? Why did you let anyone fuck you up like this? You pathetic piece of shit. General, please, you shouldn't. So, you're still alive, huh? General Gunner's eyebrows raise in surprise. He growls and looks like he's about to start shouting at his pupil again. But in the end, he just lets out an angry scoff and glares at him. No thanks to you. It sounds like there's something on your mind, huh? What is it? Anything you want to tell me? Oh yes, a lot actually. But first, I'm going to speak to the king and the alphas. What's so important that you needed heads of all the Lupine clans present to hear you out? Well, won't you hurry up to the hall and listen with the rest? I'll be there soon. I wouldn't want you to miss a single word, Father. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. What is wrong with you? Nothing. Not anymore. Generals, calm down, please. We're all tired, and our tongues go ahead of our minds. Yeah, I know mine does, at least when, trying to read. Do not let them sever our unity. We should go. Our guests are waiting. Water, sir? Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you. I hold up a silver bowl filled with crystal clear spring water, and he starts lapping from it. You wouldn't think you'd use crystal since that, silver, because it rusts. Okay, maybe not rust, but it kind of goes all. You think gold would be better since it doesn't really go bad. General Gunner grumbles. Fine, but only for because Cooper said so. Because he's such a good boy. You should take some notes from Rune. He turns around and hobbles in the direction of the Great Hall, leaving us with silent Rune Moon and Cooper still lapping at the water from the bowl in my hands. Thanks for manipulating him into leaving us alone. I almost snapped, but it's still too early for that. What? Did you try to manipulate it? I didn't try to manipulate anyone. And that's exactly what makes you the goodest boy. You do it so effortlessly. I must admit though, Sir Moon, you seem very different today. Almost like a completely different dog. Forgive me for being blunt, but I am questioning if you're well enough to perform in front of the king at all, at the present. Maybe a short rest would be in order. It would hurt me to see you embarrass yourself in front of all the elite. I never took you for someone who gave two shits about appearances, with your shepherd anatomy and all. I'm simply concerned about you, Sir Moon. You're our national treasure, dear to everyone. To you, too? No, to you, too? Is that really a question? I may not technically be part of the army, but you are a brother to me, Sir Moon. I take offense in you even doubting that. Rune chuckles, while more guests walk down the corridor towards the throne hall. One of the tall, elegantly dressed wolves stops in front of me and Max to fondle our chins. Clean your butts, little mutts. I'm going to have some fun with you after the conference, he says, before patting our cheeks and walking away with a bouncy step. So wait, there actually is poo and butts? They actually have to clean their butts? So like literally all visual novels where we're just everybody's just completely clean down there? Really? And for a second there was kind of wondering if there was going to be a female, but still not. That's unfortunate. It's going to be harder to pass the assassination of Rune as an accent if we need to kill extras. I need to find a way to shake him off if he's persistent. Cooper. I'm sorry. Of course I know. You've always been strict, but good to me. There is nobody in this whole castle I trust more than you. Tell me, if I ask you to do something questionable for me, would you? I would. You didn't even ask how questionable. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want me to do, I'm certain is ultimately for the good of others. No, not really, Cooper. This time is for my very own selfish sake. Oh? Rune sighs and offers the other dog a sword on both of his hands. The black, thin blade with a strange handle. The Caucasian shepherd shoots a frantic glance around him and pulls the husky away from me and Max, yet still staying within range of her sense of hearing. Sir Moon, you know it is against my vow to use sharp blades. And against who? Is it someone in the hall? Cooper, I trust you. Do you trust me? I trust my judgment, and that you're acting greatly unlike yourself today, Sir Moon. If you are unwell, you should rest before speaking with the king. I shall go there and inform the guests. I will see you in your room and tend to you myself, and then... No, Cooper, please. You're the only one I can ask. I'm not sick. Quite the opposite, I swear. Just focus for a moment and read me, and you'll know I won't block anything. Before Cooper can turn around, Rune puts his hand on his shoulder and stares into his eyes. Cooper lets out an exasperated sigh, then stares back at the other dog, focusing. Both me and Max observe Rune's mind too. With such a powerful, legendary present, we expect his mind to be just as grand and complex. And yet, it doesn't appear to be anything special in the end. Just like he promised. He isn't blocking or masking any of his thoughts. And he's extremely easy to read. He's horny as hell. I mean, there's excitement and resolution, a lot of fear and doubt, but he has an absolute grasp of those emotions. Is he planning to do something risky? To be honest, he doesn't feel like someone up to doing anything overly radical. There are strong emotions inside him, but he is so open and accepting of them. They're spreading over his mind in calming harmony. Objectively speaking, he's more stable than most canines in the palace right now. I'm certain he isn't faking that either. In that case, Cooper should certainly be. Huh? Why is Cooper looking at Rune with such a shock? Eyes and mouth wide open, stuttering, unable to utter a word. Sir Moon, what happened to you out there? The husky warrior smiles. Stop with the Sir Moon already. Just call me Rune, please. He puts the black blade into his colleague's hands and starts walking towards the throne hall. While passing us, he grabs a canine snack from Max's silver plate and keeps walking without stopping. The snacks are laced with a slow-working, paralyzing potion, while the water bowl contains an antidote. The plan is to make everyone who ate the snacks drink the water too, except for Rune. It's fortunate he didn't even stop for water. If he did, I would need to make a mess by tripping and spilling it all over the floor. Also, what happened if somebody took a snack but didn't want the water? You said they would make him drink it? I don't know. Of course, we have chocolate among our arsenal too, but the effects are so immediate and easily recognizable, they would certainly be able to apply an antidote in time. Our current plan is to drug him the slow-working poison and finish him by hand once he decides to retreat to his chambers. He usually spends the night at the palace after coming back from battle. A certain dark corridor we selected for the ambush spot, perfect to finish the job. For now, we only need to make sure he eats the treat. He plays with it, flicking it between his fingers, while the big doors of the throne hall open in front of him. We follow. Rune sighs and raises the treat to his mouth. But then, something catches his attention. He approaches some random guard, an older dog, well in his late 40s. You're Sten, right? Just gonna check the time. Okay. Yes, Sir Moon, sir. Come on, mate. Stop with the sirs. I should be the one sirring you. You're like a father to me, one I never got to properly speak to. Sir? You can feel terrible confusion in the guard's mind. He's completely taken aback by Rune's overly familiar behavior. The hero chuckles. Sten, paw. Sten gives paw. Rune puts the treat in it. Oh no. You know, he talked about you a lot. Thank you for everything you did for us, Sten. I think he loved you. Oh, I guess it's the thing from Rune's past. Like, very early on in it. Husky pats the guard on the shoulder and walks away. The old dog stares at Rune's back, completely dumbfounded. I can say for certain he has absolutely no idea what that whole exchange was about. But then, once I stop focusing on empathy and actually look at his face, I notice something peculiar. There are tears dripping down his face. He isn't even aware of that himself. How weird. The moment he puts the treat on his side pouch, Max pickpockets it out, and we turn around. Our current identities won't allow us free access to the throne hall. However, there's still a lot we can do. In the meantime, Max walks away to dispose of the poison and secure our possible ambush spot, while he puts on a camouflage cloak and sneak away to the outside hall. The wall is on the sunny side, so I'm extremely careful of my surroundings and climb only when I'm sure I'm not being watched. It's taking too long for my liking, but her success depends on this spotless work. Just like Max, I have attained a reliable mastery over minimizing my presence to canine empathy. It's a meditative state that leaves me physically vulnerable and clouds my own mind. But that doesn't matter. I'm not here to fight right now. I'm here to watch and listen. I don't know what stage the talk is in right now. I can see Rune standing in the middle of the hall, surrounded by the top elite of the canine kingdom. They are loud and obnoxious, while the husky himself stays quiet. Just like the masked king, sitting on an elevated black throne with dignity. Masked? Like, you remember something early on in Rune's thing, when he chose his name? He shouts and barks among the surrounding wolves. No, wait, the shouts and barks among the surrounding wolves don't cease. They're all upset about different things, but from what I can understand, the main reason is the state Rune came back in. Suddenly, a high-pitched, brain-piercing noise cuts through the spacious hall, nearly making me slip. A dog whistle. Both me and Max know that tools of torture all too well. It makes all the effort to keep my presence hidden, despite the feeling of needles swirling in my head. When the noise finally stops, the old blue heeler dog gestures for sit and wait, while still holding the whistle with his other hand. A few seconds later, two extremely satisfying clicking sounds echo throughout the chamber. The old dog used the ceremonial silver clicker to show approval of the crowd's good behavior. In the name of the king, I would ask you, O honored guests, for a bit of patience. Yes, Rune might have suffered loss of invaluable artifacts, the deaths of many loyal good boys, as well as severely scarred his image as our undefeated icon. But we didn't summon you all here today to punish our hero for his failures. We gathered at his own request because whatever price was paid is ultimately insignificant in the face of what was gained. Something you couldn't disclose in reports, huh? Rune nods. He takes a breath, but still hesitates to speak. He glances back at Cooper, standing near the door. He looks at Gunnar, at the king. He puts his hands together, almost like a rodent prayer, and then sighs. Oh man. Speak, boy. Tell us what you found exactly in that shelter of yours. Can it help us in the war? Oh, it definitely could. I sent relic samples to the Grove, didn't I? Yes, that you did. Our scholars cannot understand them. They say they are nature-defying nightmares, burning life in ways it was never meant to be. To be honest with you, I don't know what the hell they mean. Language, Rune. But what you got your hands on so far was just insignificant trinkets in comparison to the true vastness and mystery and access of mystery and power of that place. It's truly incomprehensible, out of this world. It dwarfs even a wildest imagination. To put in simple words, whoever masters shelter owns enough to conquer the whole realm. Livid whispers buzz among the crowd, livened. Exactly the kind of good news they were hoping for. It sounds that comprehending powers like that may prove to be, without disrespect, beyond the current knowledge of our scholars. However, you mentioned buried Tangerroot in your report. Is he willing to cooperate? With me? Probably. Great. We should send reinforcements to the north, along with a research team. You will stay here. We have reports of enemy mobilization by the southeastern and southwestern borders. I hereby assign northern base and supervision over buried Tangerroot to Commander Snoopy. He has an aircraft squadron, I don't know. You'll write him a letter of recommendation, Rune, to make sure Tangerroot understands the situation and Snoopy's importance. Tangerroot is not pardoned for desertion just yet, but his cooperation may or may not contribute towards a less severe judgment of his investigation and trial. Finish what you have to say. We will hold another meeting in regards to your upcoming campaign. Come on, don't stay quiet. Get to your main point already. What is it exactly you needed us all here for? Stop wasting our time, Rune. Can you just shut the fuck up for a moment, you insufferable twat? Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Sir Rune, that's enough. You have to forgive him. Cooper, stay away. I'm fine. I'm better than ever. There's something unnervingly calm in the way he says that, even though I can't read his emotions right now due to blocking access to my own empathy. The tone of his voice carries something scary. The whole hall stays quiet, so I can hear my own heartbeat. Rune takes a deep breath and finally speaks out. Forgive me, this may be a bit sudden, but I'm not going to take part in the upcoming campaign. He puts his hand on a small leather dagger sheath by his side belt, while whispering something quieter than the silence itself. I won't be taking part in any future campaigns, wars, or missions either. I decided to retire, you see. Gasps of disbelief and fear echo through the hall. 6 heavily armored warriors surround the throne for the king's protection. As soon as Rune raises the dagger, a crudely chiseled pitch-black short blade with white spots dancing across it from many edges. And there's only one thing I want from you for all those years of my faithful service. Either you give me shelter, or destroy all of your sick ambitions, O fake masters. Well, that's a good time. That hit at the 30-minute mark. I was going to be like, and then we're going to continue on to like a seed change, which, sorry, yeah, tired, which could be like exiting out of the memories. But hey, I wonder if that means that I'd have to assume that he's going to use that on himself, but it also kind of seems like he might try something else. Like, I can't remember everything, but I remember something where it was like the king, who was a kid, gave him a sash and told him to jump or something like that. I'm not sure if maybe from a roof, who knows? Can't remember. But then, there might have been a coup or something like that, and now there's a masked king. Don't know. Anyways. Wait, did he say final shelter build? Back up. Okay. You son of a bitch. I'm in. Ouch. I was gonna be like, but wait, I just messaged him. I can't remember if it's my username here, GamerWolfSix, or my old one, DarkWolfDemon, that's on here. Or it could be GamerWolf7. I think it's the next set of people. Oh, there it is, GamerWolf6. Dachshund. Dachshund! I would have to maybe assume that one. What? No! Okay, Dachshund. Oh, no, wait. Okay, Dachshund. Duck's hand? I was just... Okay, I was wrong the first one. Dachshund. Yay, more Dachshund facts. Quithmeth. I wonder if on E621 there's like a list of like a category for furry visual novels, you know? Where you, if you just put that in, it would be like Shelter and Winds of Change and etc. etc. Funny enough, there aren't a ton of like Winds of like Clace Universe's horniness. Next time on Shelter, the dagger, and the collar, and the promise. Heck. It will. Okay. Well, that's gonna be the end of this Let's Play then. Until, you know, next time another one of these updates comes out, and then, It's available to be posted. Hyena. I do enjoy these games. I, I do remember over a year and a couple of months ago, well, a year and a half ago, this was just on a thing, and it was like, here's Horny, and I'm like, well, I'll get it, and I clicked quickly through it. It's like, there isn't Horny. I'm not going to, because usually if I'm looking for a Horny game, I want a little bit of instant gratification in the beginning. But anyways, then it was like, okay, there doesn't seem to be that. I'm not gonna play it. And then I was later, in the field doing work, and I saw this was my folder, and I was like, well, I'll check it out. And, since I wasn't going directly for the Horny, it was reading, and I'm like, this is kind of cute. Kind of really cute. And at which point I'm like, we should do Let's Plays of this. And here we are. Hyena. That's the thing that I do hate about being alive, where it's like, well, to get interested in thing, you need to put some time and emotional effort into it. It's like, I wonder how many things I might have missed. Things I would have liked if I just kept with it just a little bit more, Yeah, well, such is life. Sorry, exercise and lots of stuff makes me toe-old and reading. So anyways, and this is a comment. Guys, I like comments, say what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise if you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos that have grown. Please remember spamming your animals to help control the pet population. And again, I do find it funny, but I also appreciate it's like, hey, you do have to clean your butts between doing things, Just saying. If you know what I mean. Ooh. And if you want to play this game, it's available for free on itch.io. And if you want the most up-to-date version and or want to support them, you can go to their Patreon. Because, as I'm making this, but, not posting it, I can play this, version 29, but you can't if you're not on their Patreon. But when I post it, then you can actually play this version. What about the next version? Version 30. Anyways, I'm just milling about. Jeez, all my talkity talk, put it up to 7 minutes. Anyways, yeah. Until next time, let's say, me, GamerWolfSix, a shelter. So thanks and see ya.